Okay, so thanks to a very lovely viewer, I now have 900 oh my lord. How many warnings am I looking at right now? So I got CMake to work. The cost of my sanity. Thank you so much to... Well, I can't say your name on Discord because I don't know what it is. Give me 2 seconds. To Superhero1 for helping me out. I'd never heard of, I've heard of CMake, but I didn't think it would have such power. Oops. Now let me just check something. I want to run the file with so it okay, so maybe CMake isn't working. But yeah, so now we can get to actually fixing the code. Like, look at all these warnings. Wow, a lot of warnings. We'll go through them soon enough. What I'm gonna do first of all is check why it's not actually running in the end. So if I actually go to... See, I have a problem where C++ doesn't run without static. Let me just fix this real quick. So what we're going to do actually first of all is go into CMake and just add compile options. Compile options static. We're gonna get those errors again, but it should work. My God, am I that bad at programming? No, you see it. It doesn't work. It doesn't. What do I use my build here? Hmm. Strange. Why is that happening? I mean, dash static should make it run for me, but it doesn't. Hmm. But it says dash static. Why isn't it running? I'm just so confused. Okay, let's go into my, let's not do that, and let's go into build. Wait. Apparently GPT is telling me to do that, so we're gonna try that. There we go. Okay. So, let's finish these warnings, shall we? Here's the first one. I actually don't know. Printf size T. I don't know how to do that. Percent ZU. Okay. Unused, unused, unused. Yeah, because I haven't implemented a function. Oh yeah, I can just do that. What else? Warning, ID will be initialized after. I guess I just had to change the order. Okay. Let's keep going. Uh-huh. Break was missing there. this stuff is so overkill, you know? But I'm just gonna replace what I have here with this and see if there's any errors. So you can see it just added some standard add pointers and removes the reference from the type, gets its this is template madness. Next error. So we have message line fname, and we should be doing message fname. Yeah. Okay. Oh no, why did I do that? So obviously we should initialize trace first. We should initialize them in the way they're ordered. Is that what it's saying? Like, sure, I'll get behind that any day of the week. Trace message line fname content. So message fname content. Message fname content. Okay. Really? I don't call push parameter. Of course I call push parameter. What are you on about? Why would I have made the function in the first place? Here's push. So I don't call push parameter. Okay. And just get rid of the name, I guess. Or just modify the signature altogether. Missing initializer for parental hash string. just do that, I guess. Because I know this won't be defined for a lot of stuff. Enumeration value. Okay, I'll do that right now. Good observation, compiler. Okay. If a variable equals another if. Uh-huh. If a variable equals another. Long int. Wait, what? Long int and concise t. This should be a long. No? Okay. Yeah, that should be fixed. That should be fixed. Parse label defined. It's unused. Okay, I'll comment that out. Um. So let's comment out all this. More switch. Oh my god. I might just put a warn here and say found suspicious token, possibly due to a non-implemented feature. I'll do that and see what we actually get when we compile that, actually, I think. Okay, up we go. Enumeration value string handled in switch. Yeah, comparison of an unsigned integer is always false. Uh-huh. That should be not unsigned. I'm now going to turn this into a long. So for some reason, why can't I do size t for at here? There's gonna be some problems here. Because at starts at 0. So should just be a size t. And we'll have to go into all these errors and change the function signature to take a size t. So x per eval should take a size t reference. Okay. Let's find long and replace it with size t. Rand. Go up to these functions. Size t. Size t. Find long anywhere here. There we go. Should do fine. This should also be a size t. Okay. There we go. Magic. This will take in... It's gonna need context. Oh, wait. No. Okay, let's uncomment internal. We do need that. I need to go back to wherever that was. Yeah. Unused parameter. Wait, no. Yeah, I did all that. Did all that. Well, Shabananan, how you doing, man? Look at it. Hey, listen. I really appreciate you doing CMake. I got to learn a little bit, and it's working fine, I hope. I might in a minute show you how I'm doing it so you can critique me on that, because I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. I'd like to compile for G++, but it keeps compiling for Visual Studio sometimes, so I'm not sure if I'm approaching that the right way. But what you've done is, well, you've given me a million errors, a million warnings, and half these warnings are so stupid. I mean, seriously, I had, okay, I do have a warning saying I can't have a pointer to a standard shared pointer, and I know that's really bad, but the way I used it was not bad. Okay, I can explain it. Change the compiler in VS Code if you want. You do it in the yeah, I changed that. I don't think it fixed it. Maybe it did. I think wait. Set CXX, and then ChatGPT told me to use make files, and then obviously use a release if we want to make different. That's my run command, I guess. But we're almost done with the warnings. Almost done. You might need to reconfigure the project first with CXX and only then build. I'll build it in a second and see how many errors I get, because I'm trying to fix these warnings and we'll check them out together. Warning, bool. What the hell is the warning? Okay, let's just build it again and go through the warnings again. Oh god. Okay, that's just macro. Error, could not convert. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So I'm making a long here, but I don't think it's supposed to be a long. It's supposed to be a size T. Let me turn down some music. Why don't you just use the CMake extension VS Code? Let's check it out. I think I have it installed. CMake language, CMake, yeah. CMake. So can I run like CMake? Oh yeah, CMake build, F7. But like, there was a problem where I ran it, and it built everything into my project directory instead of the build. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't actually build it into the build folder. And I had to add a new tab on the side, the triangle one. Okay, let me run it. See, I don't want to compile for Visual Studio release. I want to compile for Or GCC or G++? I mean, on the left is a triangle with a bug on it. Oh, as in when I'm looking at my file? That's the button I have for building it, apparently. But I don't have it configuring for... Scan recursively for kits in specified directories. Scan for kits. Okay, what kits are you gonna get me? Getting GCC version. Okay. Good. Huh? It didn't work. Oh yeah, GCC. Oh god, please don't spit it out into this directory. Uh-huh. Oh, it gives me the warnings. No way. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. This is comparison of integer. Yeah, so there's a problem here with the... Holy Jesus Christ. Alright, all these errors because I'm using a long instead of a size t. Is the... Anyway, the reason I'm using a long is because I start at -1, don't I? Doesn't see it. Yeah, in the same like vertical space that the file explorer is in. Well, I think I can F7 and do it. Fourth icon from the top is the CMake icon. Fourth icon from the top. From what top? Oh. I don't think so. This will run it. Compile active file, is that it? Bro, oh my days, bro. On the left, fourth from the top. What are you on about? From what? The left fourth. Some compass level navigation. We're talking about these icons, right? Okay. Like the top left icon is the file explorer icon. Oh, so yeah, so from the sidebar, yeah. Run and debug. No, we're talking about the icons next to the left edge of your monitor. Okay, yeah. Yeah. But this is run and debug. That for me is, I have to configure it, but I can just press F7 right now and it builds for me. So I think I'll just run with that. And why is it, okay. So, see what I'd like, I don't know if you know how to do this, but what I'd like is the output to come into a command prompt instead of an output. And then, because the CMake build, oh Jesus, yeah, there's like 900 errors here. Need to configure this. Oh, it's a black screen? What the hell? Oh, F7 is my keybind for switching to the Minecraft view. That's kind of crazy. It wants a launch JSON, what the heck? Doesn't it see CMake? Nope, don't think it does. So this output, I don't want it. I want to just have a, okay, run and debug. Wait, create a launch.json file. Select debugger. Do I want to use a debugger though? Yeah, GNU debugger. Yeah, that's what I use. Okay. Program, enter program name. For example, workspace folder. Okay, so workspace folder / build / rscript. Path the GNU debugger. I don't fucking know. Isn't there a... Can I do like which? Or is that Linux only? Oh, would you look at that? Thank you, Windows. Can just replace that. There was a CMake option. Wait, but I could use CMake and then run a debugger, couldn't I? Because I can make multiple configurations. So I can go into here and do name CMake. No? What do you mean there was a CMake option? Enable pretty printing. Yeah, I want that. Add configuration. Here we go. When you're creating launch.json. Oh, okay, well, I can probably find it here if I just search CMake. CMake configure. CMake script. No, that's script debugging. Just CMake configure, I guess. Yeah? No? CMake configure, that doesn't sound like it. External? No. Hey, Sebastian, how's it going? Yeah, Shadmanan has very gracefully added CMake to my project, so I'm learning this very cool new way of running C++ because every time I make a program, you know, the C++ just never likes to work. My computer needs a dash static for it to compile. It's so shit. A lot of these icons on the left sidebar, maybe the CMake icon I'm thinking about is hidden behind the 3 dots. Ah! It is. Run task. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. Okay, this all works. Launch.json. So can run launch? No? Is that what I want to do? Run build, sorry. Build. Okay. Alright, so now how do I put that on a key? Okay, so run and debug works fine, I think. And then CMake is, well, let's bring it up. Somewhere like below version control. And build, can I like... Shortcut. Oh my god. What? No. How do I configure a shortcut? Open keyboard shortcuts. Thank you. CMake build. Okay, I want this to be F2. Can I record a new change keybind to, I guess, F2. Does that do anything in Visual Studio? Oh, 7 existing commands. The home button? 6 existing commands. Okay, I like this. Control tilde. That's what I usually do. What kind of command? Oh, it's the terminal. What are we thinking, guys? Change keybind to... Wait, what keybind has this? Toggle terminal. Yeah. And Control B toggles my sideward bar. I guess Control Shift B. Oh yeah, run build task. Wait, if run build task, what is my build task? Can I just set my build task to CMake? Making up keybind instead of clicking build. This sidebar. I need a keybind. Everybody needs a fucking keybind. What are you on about? What are you on about? Okay, CMake will now officially be Control Shift tilde. What in God's green earth does... Yeah, I don't use that, so let's just remove this. Did it change? It's too many keys. Okay, done. Now I can build using that. Perfect. How do I... This output doesn't have any pretty printing on it, so it's like really hard to... Can I not... Oh, Jesus. Open output in editor. See, I can't get pretty printing in, like... Why... What is the point of the output thing? Oh my lord, I'm losing my damn mind. Look, it was nice before when it just ran in the terminal. But now it's constantly opening this stupid window that doesn't show me much. Okay, Control Shift. No. Not gonna press that. What? Where is window? Window. Go. Could also open the VS Code console from the bottom of the window and execute CMake build dot there. Yeah, I know, but can I not do that with the keybind in Visual Studio? Like, that's what I had before, is I would just do CMake, but I have to type that out 80 times, 800 million times when I'm building. So what I want to do is press arrow up to bring back the command every time. I guess. That's what I was doing anyway, but I thought I could shortcut it. Like, imagine instead of a command prompt here, it was an output. But yeah, sure. CMake base dot build. Yeah, but it's dash build, isn't it? And then specify builds. Okay, well I have a make file for this, so like this is exactly what I had at the start. Okay, all right. Let's fix these errors here while they spit out into my face. Um. So instead of making a long, see, I start with -1 because it's a while instead of a do while. So I'll just equal to that, and I'll start at 0, and we'll call this a size t, and we'll call this a size t. Since you built it once with the VS Code CMake, the errors won't disappear even if you fix them until you rebuild. Ah, shit. You're right. Okay, well, we'll rebuild, we'll fix it all, and then we'll just stick to the terminal. I like that a lot better. So, stack trace needs to be modified to accept shared pointer of size t. Yeah, that's what it's doing. Oh my god, this is why I hate it, because it doesn't update in real time. So there's a logic error now where it's going to skip the first character. So we should just connect, do a do while here. Wait, do and then take the while, but at the very end. There we go. That should be fine. Some other errors like, yeah, it's all size T now, so it should be fine. You can control shift P and reload window. Will that go away, really? Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so, okay, my monitor cable just decided to give up on me. How the fuck can the fucking socket on the monitor just decide to say nah? So I don't think there's much more warnings to fix for actually doing the fun stuff. Thank you. Thank you so much for making all these warnings for me to fix. I love doing it. It's 100% my fault. Um, this is another warning I haven't fixed, I don't think. Can I shrink this? What in God's green earth? Comparison of integer expressions of different signedness. Npos is a size t and iter is a long. Okay. Seems fine to me. Let's keep going. Oh, and that was it. Wait, no, it wasn't because I ended the compilation. Do you not use auto? I really rarely try to use auto unless I'm like, I need to get something done fast and I couldn't care less what the type is. Like, I like using the using keyword to alias types in certain functions, but when it comes to auto, I'll only really use it when the type is too long, and I shouldn't just put a using in the middle of a random if statement, in the middle of a random function, in the middle of a random class, you know? That type, you know, I can't put a using, so auto is really nice. Especially for iterators, I'll use auto. That's about it, though. That's more than that. Program doc, yeah, okay, so, see, the compiler wants brackets here, but it already understands it without brackets. Like, grow a pair of balls, compiler. God damn. Wait, what's the warning? Oh yeah, that's the warning. I didn't fix this, I don't think, did I? Can I go to here? Yeah, this is a problem. Narrowing conversion from unsigned long to long because I haven't fixed raw trace info, where it should be size t, but start needs to be a long. Because negative, sometimes this isn't used. And we can make this all size t's except for start, which is a long. We can make it a long. Why not? A long. Grand. Okay, let's build it. See what warnings we get. There's our first one. A few errors, that's okay. We're almost through, almost through. Why, it's less than S? S is a... You really shaved them off. Yeah, I mean, millions of those errors literally were just from using long and size T comparisons. I actually knew that those warnings would come up when I wrote them, but I just said I don't give two shits because I know I'm not dealing with negative values. The compiler's just being very, very picky. But I digress, you know, let's do some right programming, you know, so it's definitely better to be doing this. So comparison of integer expressions of different signness, that's all it is. Like, look right here, this is the error function. Standard min is screaming right now because I'm casting this to a long, but this trace line is now a size t, so I can just cast this to a size t. And then line length. Okay, so this should be a size t, I'm assuming. Like, okay, this is a lot of bytes we're using here, but sure. Just change that to an int. Error trace caret here. So this needs to be a size t. This needs to be a size t. And this needs to be a size t. Well, start is a long, actually. So, or long. Is there something like a U size t? It's not gonna like that. It's probably gonna make me do a uint64t. Or a... Never mind, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, few errors, that's okay. That's it, I think. Warning, comparison of integers of different... Trace line size t minus 2 plus 1. Yeah, that's why I said I didn't know what I'm talking about. Like, I was just gonna say, like, is there not a nicer type in the C type definition file for instead of writing long? I hate long. An error? Fuck's sake. How many? Wait. Okay, that's not that much. Comparison of integer of different sign is int and const long unsigned int. Ah, it's the int here. So that's just annoying, so I'll just static cast it to a long. Wait a minute. I guess I could just do this, start greater than 0 and, or greater than -1, and static cast it to a size t is that. That's just making sure we don't have a negative value here, because static casting here is quite weird. Unused parameter. I hate this shit when it says unused parameter. Go here. So for this, I actually can't solve these warnings. So how can I get rid of these warnings? Can I not do a push or something? Warning? Hash warning? Yeah, but for other people to compile, it's going to be quite strange. So I'd rather put it in the source file. Because, as you can see here, these are all functions that are passed to a dictionary. Like message and kill, for example. But they're not going to use these, but they definitely will in future. These parameters. So, um, I'm pretty sure I saw something on Stack Overflow where it was like... Then just do void parameter inside function body. Okay. That's actually quite smart. Where's what program? So the error is unused program. Okay. Like that? You can't cast to it. Do you mean void pointer program? What? I didn't think you could cast something to a void. Um. Okay, so it's actually need to be put in both functions because we're not using it. Okay. Oh yeah, and also in compile assert. Okay, grand. But then again, compile assert uses none of these. So void factory, void void parameters, and void. It's because I just haven't implemented this. And void. That's okay. Alternatively, add something like attribute may be unused. Can I add that to the function body, or does it have to be behind the variable declaration? Okay, what's the error here? Did I fix that error? I think I fixed that error. Nope. Okay. Instantiation of error. Could not convert make shared args with type is long int to long unsigned int. Yep. That's now supposed to be a size T. Hello, caps lock. Okay. And then a switch case here where we should have a default break. I think we did it. I think we did it. Google tells me may be unused as part of C++. Do I have to put can I put that on the... It has to be behind every variable though. What? I just got rid of all these warnings. Needs termination. Unused. Oh. Need to implement that actually, yeah. So needs termination is a Boolean flag. I know I have a habit of making way too many Boolean flags, but it means that when we parse the variable, it must be terminated by a semicolon. For example, when we call var parse true here, and we're parsing it in objects, when we're creating an object, you need a semicolon at the end of it. So if, don't you have some objects for options? Some object for options or settings? Yeah, look, it's coming. I'm going to show you actually, this is the one bit of code in this entire thing that I actually genuinely think I'm just too lazy to fix, and it's just shit. It's this function right here. Expression evaluate. Bool bracket, bool line end, bool object, bool prune. 4 booleans. And look at this one. Make binary syntax tree. Program, okay, token list, where we're starting, some errors. Bool bracket, one node, and object. These are recursive flags. So they're not that bad. These two are recursive flags. You're right, I should definitely implement an object. But it's a bad habit. I promise, it's a bad habit. Yeah, so this needs termination when it has a colon. Okay, I need to implement this in a lot of places. I can just put that down here, I guess. If needs termination and current info doesn't equal a line end. No, sorry, current type does not equal token type line end. Then we can compilation error with the syntax error saying expected semicolon, I guess, to end expression. And this returns null pointer. Something went wrong, so we need to use the return value macro. Yep. Okay, more fucking uints. Wait, hold on. I skipped through a few. So the scope here is uint32t. Current scope is int32t. Okay, let's change that, I guess. Just change it to be an int32t. int32t, int32t. Okay, more fucking parentheses, my lord. Didn't I just comment that out? Yeah. Warning, unused parameter. It's used now. Scope is a uint, and this is an int32. Just do int32t. It's just an int. Just write it as an int. Okay, narrowing conversion again. When we're creating an object, we're passing in an int32t, but the object expects a uint, so we're going to change that to be an int. Yeah, here are the errors. Fuck's sake. You gotta help me with this. I used ChatGPT to try and solve this because the warnings were pissing me off. So basically what I have is a line of code that, or a structure called a result pair. And this will, it's just a wrapper for whether or not the result of something was a success, and then a pair of return values, right? And ChatGPT gave me this because before all I had was just T1 pointer and then T2 pointer. That was what I had before, right? And what I would do is I use this result pair in a function called commutative variant equals, and it takes in a variant. In other words, the variant I'm using for this is just an util. The variant I'm using is a redscript variant, and it's going to be the result of an expression. So it could be a variable, a register, a object, it could be a list, or a constant. It could be any of those, and that's the variant, right? And the commutative variant equals is used when I'm comparing x equals y, and x equals y is the same as y equals x, so we have to commutatively check if it's true, and then if it is true, if they are true without order, then we can return a nice structure that just gives us both of those variant values back straight away. So we don't have to do any standard gets or anything. And it's a nice constant expression function. But now I'm getting an error that says cannot convert a bytecode register pointer to standard add pointer helper type, aka standard shared pointer RBC register pointer in initialization. So it just uses some private get pointers. This is what GPT gave me because my struct was fine before this. This is all crazy scuffed. Well, what would you do? I don't know. It's the solution I came up with. The code for result pair is definitely scuffed. I didn't write a single word of this. I just thought it would fix it because it was just warnings. This all works with literally just this. Get rid of you. Just do underscore T1 pointer, I1, T2 pointer, I2. And then that. There. That all works fine, but I'll get a warning. Do you know what I mean? Why do you need this weird pair? Okay, let me break it down for you. I won't start dancing, I promise. What's the warning? The warning is that when I pass in one of the variants, so the variant RBC value contains some just straight objects like RBC constant, but then it also contains shared pointers to things that need to be passed by reference. Do you get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, like a variable, when I'm parsing the assembly instruction for variable, I might need to modify some of the variable's contents. So it can't be passed by value. It needs to be passed by reference or passed by pointer. So it's stored in a pointer, a shared pointer. And if you look at this, well, yeah, commutative variant equals works fine, but it returns, as you can see, a T1 pointer, and T1 could be a shared pointer to something. So that's a shared pointer. And this works fine. And I don't want to change this at all. I know a shared pointer is bad, but again, there's no way I can kind of get around it nicely. This is general purpose. Oh, sorry, I went out of full screen. I'll show you here. Let's make it. Oh, I see. Start -1 is greater than or equal to 0. And just do start. Start is greater than 0. So can't you make a template function that accepts a standard pointer? I think that's what GPT gave me, but that's a really smart idea. Actually, let me do that. Let me see what that does. Yeah, so it made a get pointer function. So privately declare I'll do a template. Well, I'll just do a this can be static template. What? No. Template type static type pointer unwrap if smart, like t pointer get pointer, but also make t pointer get pointer. Of course. So I'll just call this unwrap pointer, and we'll take in a standard shared pointer to t. Obviously, I forgot the type name here. Yeah, actually, that's really smart. Thank you. But I don't think it fixed it, unfortunately. We can just return x.get here, and then we can just copy this for unwrap pointer and take in an instance of just a t pointer and return x like so. And we can basically fix the... There. So I'm assuming that's what you mean. Then we can pass this to... No, sorry, this should be t reference. I can make it const t reference. Can I do const t? I'll get rid of const. So I'll just do, or I'll keep const. Oh my god, I hate the const keyword. I'll just call unwrap pointer on I1 and unwrap pointer on I2. This means I do have to change my code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into where we use result pair, which I have no idea what line it is in on my 3000 line file. So need reference x2. Do I not do that? Yeah, const t reference. Is that what you mean? Is the font too small, by the way? If it's too small, I can increase it. Here it is. There we go. So here's the code I use for it. I make an anonymous scope here. I make a result pair and make sure commutative variant equals, first of all, the first element should be a shared pointer to a register. Then the other element should be a constant. And then we just have to, unfortunately, explicitly pass in our variant here, which is a giant ass variant. And then in here, we can just take them straight away. So now I'm doing 2 dereferences, but all I need to do is 1. Shared pointer, RBC register. See, it still thinks that's... Oh, for the... See, there's a problem now because T1 and T2 are the shared pointers. So we have to get rid of that, and that's what GPT did. You gave it a reference, so you need to take its address. Oh, thank you, yeah. Thank you. But here, I need to remove the type. Do you know how to do that? Type remove or something? I need to or remove the shared pointer. So it's get pointer, I think it's called. Pointer. Just don't pass the shared pointer along with the template. No, but there's no way for me to know because down here, I'm, checking the indices of A and B here and making sure they're commutatively equal, and then returning a result pair, standard get. And I can't check if that's a shared pointer or not. You know what I mean? This is template. This is generics. No way for me to check that. Okay, so let me see. C++ remove shared pointer from type. Yeah. Doesn't exist. Google. Let's ask GPT. So it said, wait, how can I the type inside a shared pointer if it is a shared pointer? Otherwise, just give the type. So, a type trait. Okay, I actually have heard about this a lot, and it says unwrap shared pointer, unwrap shared pointer. Okay, alright, I'll write that. That's a good idea. Unwrapped shared. Meta programming. I don't really like it's cool that it can do this. Okay, I need to include type traits apparently, but like it's kind of strange. Like, why do generics have to be this complicated and the errors have to be this verbose, you know? So an unwrap shared should have a using type is equal to. Another reason to hate C++. I agree. I agree. It's the only problem with it. The only big problem. You know, using type is T, and then I can copy this. And unwrap shared will take a standard shared pointer, obviously to the T, and using type is just equal to T. Okay. So I can just do unwrap shared. Unwrapped shared. See if that fixes it. I've just been munching on a kilogram of peanuts. Oh, shit. Wait, it should fail. How is it still? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my lord. So here, I need to get rid of the double dereferences here. Oh, I forgot to get rid of... I forgot to use, or they make up new ridiculous syntax and constructs and the language looks more and more like a circus. Yeah, it's way too stupid. You mistyped the unwrap function? No, I didn't use type here, I think. That's what I didn't do. That should fix it. Yeah. Oh, perfect. That's really cool. We can't hate on it if it works, you know? So after 2 hours almost? No, like in the sea tour. Huh? How am I getting errors? Let's just go through them one by one. Current scope is an int32t. What do you mean I gotta read chat? I'm trying to read as much as I can, but I only have one monitor. You know what I'll do is I'll actually open up my laptop on the other side of my desk. Oh. My laptop is dead. Yippee. Okay. You mistyped unwrap in the CTOR. What does CTOR mean? That's something I'm supposed to know. I've lost where I was. It was in util. Oh my god, I did. Unwrap. Why isn't it giving me an error? Thank you. Oh my god. Constructor. Oh, constructor is just short for constructor. I see. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, so the error... Yeah, you're right. Okay. And then there's still warnings where I'm missing initializer for members. So I'm just gonna initialize it. Duh. Like, there is a default initializer for this shit, but it makes me use it. I'm an atheist, but I might start praying to God while this compiles. Yeah, I did in the console, yeah. What the fuck? What is going on? Why is my terminal doing this? Okay, it works now. What was it? CMake dot build. Unknown argument dash build. Oh wait, sorry. I need to use the make command. I'm so asleep. I need to use my make. CD build CMake dash build dot. Ah, I see. Okay. Well, yeah, I can just use the make command here. So, I will actually have to. Okay, so now I can do R script. Examples. We were doing types, weren't we? Yeah, types. Hey, nice. All right, cheers, man. So, right now, I need to make it so, you know, this function method X should not compile. It needs to have a return type, like that. So let's do that. Let's go into our file where we do function definitions. Can just do that. Not equal to that, then I'm going to comp error, syntax error, function return type missing, or just missing function return. Can you test one thing for me? Can you try x : int equals 5 and see what it does? Yeah, one sec. Missing function return type. We know this needs to happen anyway. Then we need to advance. And if it doesn't work, if we can't advance, this is another problem, by the way. I should just have functionality for if advance doesn't work, return. but I have to keep writing this over and over and over. Compare syntax error or EO file unexpected end of file. Yeah, so if let's write what we're saying, x colon colon int is 5. There you go. Unknown module name. So yeah, so the error occurs when you're trying to access a module X. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a bit weird. It should say unexpected token, but what the compiler actually does see is we're trying to do module X and then we're doing XY or something like that, right? So that's why it says undefined module. Okay, that should work. That should work perfectly. So what I can do is I can call make my command, and then I can pass in examples, the run, the command options. So what I'm actually going to do is just go into make here. And I can actually edit that. So I will do types, redscript, testing. Like that, actually. Okay, so let's do without an integer. Let's just do like that. I was just trying to see if it would maybe see it as 2 colons and think the second one is a type. No, yeah, it's a little bit more strict than that. Okay, so yeah, look how fast that was. Wow. Yeah, so to see we expected the type. We can see there's a problem here where it doesn't show the semicolon at the end. So let's just do a little detour and see if we can fix that. Here's my error function where it prints the line. If I made this the second line, is it going to compile fine? No, see, you see, everything's off center by expected semicolon to end expression. Yeah. See, it's a bit strange there. There's two types of errors in RedScript. There's one error where it's just the token is missing and it's a 1 character token. And that's when this comes into play, right? We print how many spaces we need and then we print 1 token. And you can see up here, that's also off by 1. And down here, also off by 1. But here, it's a bigger token that we're dealing with. So you can see up here, we're not doing enough spaces, so this -1 has to go. And here, we're still not doing enough spaces, so actually, no, I think we are. I think that's fine. So how fast will it compile now? Very nice. Expected semicolon. Okay, so you can see the semicolon isn't... Wait, hold on a second. That's... Okay, that's a logic error. Why is it doing that? Because there is a semicolon there. So I guess once we're done here, where we don't do any breaking here, Down here we do, so we can just call advance here. And just to stop that, that's fine. Okay, let's make that. Okay, now we're back to what we started with. Wait, expected semicolon to end expressions. This error still happened over here. But it should have been a different error. It should have been expected type, right? Aha. So I actually can't put that advance in there. There we go. So this if needs termination is well, it needs to go somewhere else. It needs to go in here maybe. Because .40 chess without a proper grammar specification. What's that mean? I just look, yesterday you came and I had to show you why this function is a shithole because I had to redesign it, you know? But the problem is there's so many different possibilities of what could come after a variable that, you know, here this needs termination is not working because we'd have to, the logic error here is that we advance past and you write code accordingly and it's easy. You write down what every statement and expression consists of. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but I have to program that. I'm a bit confused. Like what happens? What the reason I'm getting this error? I know why it's happening is because I just tried to, at the end of parsing that 45, advance to the next token, which is the semicolon. Okay, good. We're at the semicolon. Everything's fine. And then it goes down and runs again and skips past the semicolon to the X. Wait, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Why the hell didn't that work? You eliminate left side recursion and write a recursive descent parser in like 500 lines of code with no confusion. Never heard of that in my entire life. Recursive descent parser. Maybe I didn't do my research enough. But I'm using a way of stepping through the tokens. I don't see if that's pretty bad. Let me take a look. It does look quite neat. Does look very neat. Mm-hmm. The funny thing is, like, now that you say that, write a parsing function for every single rule in it. I do have that. Like, I have a rule for types. I have a function for parsing types, a function for parsing variables, whether or not they're a parameter or not. But I think I'm just too far in to change to this now. I'll keep it in mind. If you want, you can flag it as a thing on Discord. You can go to the forums and say migrate to a recursive descent parser, because it looks like a fun project, but I'd have to do like a week of developing on it to get it to be like very nice, very simple, very integrated, and then plug it right into, you know, everything. So I'd have to make a separate branch and do it for a while. So do go into requested features or the forums and request it. That would be, so I can, you know, remember it, because most likely I have a horrible memory, so I forget everything, you know what I mean. If you're more interested, you can take a look at the other files. Of course, I'll save the GitHub actually. Save that line into my DMs with someone, and then I'll take a look. It looks really, really nice, you know, and I'm jealous that I didn't come up with that, you know. It's really simple. Yeah, you're right. Damn it. Thought I had everything figured out. I've never heard of this, by the way, and I've done lexical analysis. I've researched it, watched videos on it for years, so I never heard of it. Yeah, you were taught it. Yeah, I was never taught it. Like I learned everything myself on how to do this. So there's always gonna be shit like this where it's hard to there's always gonna be something better, you know. So expected semicolon to end expression. It's causing this because well, we get to the type, or not the type parse, var parse, right? And we say if the current token is a colon, is not a colon, we say expected type. We had LLL or LAL or ORD and other types of parsers. Yeah, again, you're speaking alien to me right now. What? I don't know what types of parsers they are. Expected semicolon to end expression. But how did it skip all the way past this? Yeah, expected type, but now there's that above it. Expected semicolon to end expression. Great. Okay, so we get to the semicolon. We advance to the semicolon. And then if the current isn't a line end, well then we expected the semicolon to end expression. So if I run this, keep building instead of running. Having a stupid habit now. So it says unexpected token and expression. What the hell? We're missing a semicolon here. See, here is my tree. Let's go down to my tree, case word. We do var parse. True, needs termination. So you can see here. Okay, let's use the debugger. Let's use the debugger. What do you mean there's no source file? Oh, I'm not using make with debug flag, so I need to go and add compile option. -G. Yeah, so let's make sure it's all debugged. So what's happening here is we're entering Y, we're making sure we parse the type, and then we get to an equal sign, then we parse the expression on the right hand side. That's for functions. This is for expressions. If it's a singular expression, we do all of this. It's also very complex in your case because you're combining syntax parsing and semantic analysis. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't think there was any other way, you know. I was kind of set on that from the beginning. I do definitely want to do that though. I'll make a fork and work on that one week because it looks really fun to make, you know. See, okay, any day now you can build CMake. Jesus Christ. So let's do GNU debugger. Do 547, I guess. What? Break RBC CPP 547. Run examples. Types. Red script. Testing. It never even got to there. Excuse me? Okay, well, let's do 497. So current info, or just current, dereference you, is an equal sign. And the variable should be y. Yeah? Oh my god. What do you mean could not find? Okay, fine. p dereference $4. P $4 dot get name. Great. Oh. Okay, well, we know this is in the Y, so let's go next. Excuse me? Wait, what? Why does it go down to there? But if I print current info, it was equals, wasn't it? Yep. So why didn't it go in? It skipped the entire switch statement. Why did it do that? Do you know why I did that? Let me run it again. So look, I'm breaking at line 498. Let's print current info. And then current info, if we cast that to a char, is an equals sign. The next instruction is 509. Oh, it did go in. But it skipped through all of this. Huh? Why did it skip all this? Seems like it worked anyway. Okay, next instruction. Okay, it's skipping a lot of shit. Maybe it was optimized away. Yeah, but again. Yeah, okay, fine. It got optimized away. But that, I've never seen that happen before. So... I think there's something wrong. There's something wrong with GNU Debugger. It doesn't like my program. It literally, yeah, I think it's like try optimize 0 G3 GDB. But I think it's just to do with. Is that debug level 3? G3? Okay, let me try that. G3. This is really pissing me off now because this code fucking worked and because I had to go realize that my language can't be loosely typed. Now I have to change all this. But it's my fault. Didn't write it very optimally. No, no, but I did test it myself. I did. I tested these exact scenarios with my old code. Well, barely any maybe, but I did test this exact scenario. Like, this is just stupid. Any day now. I mean, look, that file is 3,000 lines long, so. There we go. Oh, the problem is it's... Oh. Wait, no, nothing is going wrong here. It says unexpected token and expression. And that means it tried to parse the 45 and then it got hit with an X. Do you get that? Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure that's what's supposed to happen. Right? Okay, works now. Thank God. If I try making a function, we can define this as a string. Obviously, that's gonna work, isn't it? Wait, sorry. Cannot assign constant of type -1 to variable of type 1. I swear to God, you would live a happier life if you just did this the proper way. I'm gonna go now, gotta go code some of my own stuff. Yeah, probably. Probably. I'll get around to it, though. I'll get around to it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, man. I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.